Even inside of the Trump administration, prominent members of MAGA are roiling with this whole Epstein thing. And we want to start with this guy first because Bongino apparently got into a big tiff with Pam Bondi. And as of right now, at least, he's off the job. He took the day off, I guess, which is a thing that you can just do abruptly, even when you have a really important job. And a source close to Bongino said he ain't coming back, which is not a guarantee, but sources are now saying he is considering that if Pam Bondi doesn't go, he'll go. And I hope somehow all of them, but it's not up to me. Now, Caitlin Collins reports it's accurate that Dan Bongino has told people he's considering resigning in a major clash between the FBI and the DOJ over the fallout from the Epstein memo. Apparently, he got into it with Bondi about the missing minute in the tape. And so he apparently is mad because he's been taking some of the blame for not catching the fact that it had the missing minute before they put it out. And Bondi's mad at him because he's been telling the press that he and Patel have been stopped from releasing more information about the Epstein files, but they're not releasing that additional information. And he has a lot of power, unto himself, let alone Patel. And so people are saying he's not happy with the way that Pam Bondi has dealt with the Epstein files. And I think all of this is fascinating, but I also think that it's convenient to just assume, oh, wait, maybe Pam Bondi's the cause of the cover up. And actually, Bongino and Patel, who made a name for themselves and tons of money before entering the administration, talking about this story, they're secretly fighting the good fight. But the thing is, they've been participating in the early steps of this cover up for literally months. They've been doing those interviews and going on with, Joe Rogan and going on with all these people and being like, I haven't seen anything and there's no evidence yet the guy killed himself. And like maybe they have an issue with the tape, but they haven't. What have they been saying over the past few months while these files have been sitting waiting to be reviewed? They've been like mum's the word, and any of their public comments, I think, are totally consistent with either a cover up or that there is in fact nothing. And I want everyone to bear in mind, this is just me, feel free to disagree. It could be that both of them are and always have been true believers on this stuff. And now they're aghast at the fact that either nothing is coming up, in which case one would think they would perhaps apologize for leading their audiences on for literally years as they soaked up the money from it, or that it is important as they watch, as Cenk points out, MAGA 90% in revolt over this. They're thinking, okay, I have this great job. And I don't want to say anything that's going to get Donald Trump to be mad at me, but Donald Trump's heart could explode in his chest in about 6 months. And I would like to have a media career for the next 20 years. And this is perhaps a moment where if I'm not seen to be on the right side of this, that's it for me. And MAGA will never trust me.
Yeah.
And we know how powerful audience capture is for a lot of these people. And so they have a ton of loyalty for Trump, but they also desperately want more mansions and fancy cars in the years ahead.
Yeah, so that is exactly right. So there's two different issues here. But before that, we're doing a poll in the live chat. Watch the show Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock. I love you guys participating in this. And this is now a really good question. Who's out first, Bongino, Bondi, or Patel? Bongino seems like he's halfway down the sword, so that's why he's winning. But Pam Bondi is going to be the scapegoat. So let's get into that. So the two different issues are: why is Bongino freaking out the way that he is, and he's taking the day off, saying that's it, I'm considering resigning. Not just considering resigning, but apparently telling almost everyone in the MAGA world. Because there's leaks everywhere, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I might quit. Oh, remember, I'm the good guy, I might quit, right? So we'll see if he does or he doesn't. But so that's point one. And the reason he's doing that is because the MAGA base is like, F this. All of you have zero credibility left. It turns out you're compromised. Look, you egg on conspiracy theories for 10, 20 years straight. 10 years, let's give them, right? The Bonginos of the world. And then when that Frankenstein turns on you, you're gonna be surprised. Like, especially the core Frankenstein you built, right? Now, in this case though, to be fair to MAGA, they're 1,000 times more right than Bongino, Patel, Bondi, and Trump, right? Because what's the actual conspiracy theory? That hundreds of girls raped themselves? And that there are no clients and no one should be prosecuted? No, that's not the conspiracy. So that's the conspiracy theory. The government position, the Bongino position right now is a wild, ludicrous conspiracy theory. The idea that it's nefarious forces who our government is covering up for is the leading theory. And by the way, that's not just a MAGA theory, that's also the left-wing theory. And then, by the way, the middle-wing theory. No one thinks those girls raped themselves, that there were no clients, and we shouldn't prosecute a single person. Other than mainstream media reporters and politicians, I don't know a single person who believes that, left, right, middle, right? So the government's position is a lunatic conspiracy theory. MAGA agrees with all of us, BS. And the fact that they were at least like not, they were objective enough to say, yeah, no, this is wrong, and the Trump team is lying. I don't know why they're lying, but they're definitely lying. That is why Bongino's jumping out of his skin, because you're right. If they keep going like this, Patel, Bongino, Pam Bondi's already gone. She has no career left in the right at all anywhere. There's not a single, the right-wingers will never vote for Pam Bondi. She's gone. That's why she's gonna be the first one under a bus. Bongino might leave earlier, but Pam Bondi's, like, her new nickname could be Road Bump, because she's going under a bus. There's no question about that. They were all referring to her as Pam Bondi, and the whole thing about the Epstein files are on my desk, and then giving out the binders, and now she's saying no, nonsense, puts out a total BS tape, etc. So she's a goner. What Trump would love, what that team would love is, oh, it was all Pam Bondi's fault. It was all, and no, not Bongino, not Patel, not Trump, not any of the rest. It was Pam Bondi, right? But here's where it all breaks down, which is the core of the issue, the second issue, the more important one. Yes, but Bongino can leave and Bondi can get fired, but where are the freaking clients? If you're never gonna release the client list, and you're never gonna tell us a single person who did this, and you're never gonna prosecute anyone, and you're gonna stick with your lunatic conspiracy theory that the girls raped themselves, it's not gonna solve anything.
Yeah.
It's not gonna solve Bongino's problem with his career. If he comes out and goes, no, they're right. He killed himself and there were no clients. No one in MAGA is gonna listen to him, not one person. So the quitting and the firing is irrelevant. Are you actually going to do it or not? Look, guys, I think this is so big. This is not like, oh, hey, that's an interesting, amazing story of MAGA turning on Trump and blah, blah, blah. No, like, this to me feels like somebody taking the finger out of their dam, because now, like, across the board, F the government, F the establishment, we don't believe a word they say anymore. So you could yap on CNN or the New York Times and call everybody conspiracy theorists, etc. But Epstein and his very rich and powerful clients did rape underage girls. None of them have been prosecuted. And the American government, at a minimum, is definitely protecting the rapists. So now, and by the way, Trump did it, Biden did it, Trump did it, every president did it. So don't tell me it's not an intelligence agency. Like, yeah, maybe every president raped an underage girl, and that's why they're all not releasing the files or the evidence. But Trump ran on it, man. He ran on it. And so now to come in and go, the thing that you care most about, MAGA, that is like sticking the knife right into their heart, right? It's not
to snap at a reporter for bringing it up. Like he personally hates that it's still being talked about.
Yeah, no, he's in a world of trouble, but the entire institutions are in trouble now. Like no one, like Jake Tapper will later write a book about how no one could have seen this coming. We all see it coming, Jake. We all see it coming. All right, Mark.
Well, they ran as outsiders, right? I mean, initially, you sort of suggest this false populism really was something to sell when Trump was an outsider and Bongino was an outsider and Patel was an outsider, and they could write these books and do their podcasts and claim, those people on the inside, they're holding it back. It's right here. It's at the FBI. Are you kidding? That's where it is. Now you run the FBI, Kash Patel, and you guys are all in charge, and so you're on super thin ice, and you could release something even with redactions, so they can redact the hell out of the thing. They've done that with other stuff, with JFK, with MLK, they redacted a bunch of stuff. We'd already seen it before, but they tried to take a victory lap on how they'd released it. You're right, Cenk, there is something huge about this, and because it's something huge, it only gets bigger the more we wait day after day after day. I love the idea that they would throw Bondi under the bus, but that won't be enough for them to skate away from this.
Yeah, no way. And then the last piece is what I promised you earlier in the show. Wired magazine did a terrific piece about the tape that they released. They said that it was raw footage from the prison, and I was instantly amused when Pam Bondi explained, oh, every prison tape has a minute missing. Do they? Every prison tape does? I'm not sure that that's true at all, right? To say the least. All right, so already it started out disastrous, but now Wired has proven not raw, edited by Adobe Premiere Pro, and there's two clearly distinct parts edited together. Okay, now that doesn't mean that they doctored it. It doesn't mean that we know they took out something incriminating. All we know is they said it was raw, definitely not raw, definitely edited, and so we just don't know how it was edited. We don't even know if the edit was around the 1 minute mark. Like that's the edit, or it was a different edit. And there's different ratio problems to the video. The video is a mess. And there is a theory that, oh, well, look, they were just trying to clean it up so it looked presentable, right? But they actually released two different videos, one that was more cleaned up and one they called the raw footage. And it turns out the raw footage isn't raw. That one was also edited. So none of these stories add up.
The stockpile of stuff that is associated with the offing of Jeffrey Epstein, everything from the removal of his roommate from the cell to, well, it turns out one guard was asleep, the other guard was playing or buying something on Amazon. The cameras didn't work that night. I mean, at what point do we just understand that something else went down? There's just way too much of a constellation of events here for us to ignore it.
Yeah, last thing, Alex Acosta was the guy who gave him a light sentence back in 2008. Remember, Epstein got caught earlier, and Acosta basically slap on the wrist. Acosta later, even though he's a prosecutor, became the labor secretary for Donald Trump in his first term. So strange. There's so many strange things. If you don't know this, by the way, I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but Attorney General Bill Barr's dad was the first person to hire Jeffrey Epstein. Not for sex, as a math teacher at a private school, and when Jeffrey Epstein didn't even graduate college. This whole thing about like he's like a financial genius. He doesn't know anything about finance. Okay, like this is insane. Like, did you know Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was a legendary Israeli spy? Got a state funeral. Yitzhak Rabin came to it. Did you know that at one point Jeffrey Epstein said that he works with the CIA? And did you know that Alex Acosta, when challenged, this is according to sources, it's not, he didn't say it in public or in court, but they said, why'd you give him such a light sentence? And he said, well, the intelligence agencies told me to. Okay, so if that source is correct, we already know what happened. We don't know which intelligence agencies, but obviously the CIA or our government is helping. Either is the intelligence agency or is helping that intelligence agency. So the idea that intelligence agencies are like a conspiracy theory, no. That is a very reasonable conclusion, an eminently reasonable conclusion given the evidence at hand. The idea that there were no clients, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like that's no one on planet Earth believes that. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.